Everything's falling apart in the background because I tried to, jump the ship before. No, I don't know how any of that goes. Welcome to Monday Papers. It's an empty studio if you're looking around. Back over there trying to get Facebook going is my man Andy. It said we had low connection. I don't know what that is, so see if it gets rolling. Running late is always joining me, and always running late lately. Skin Man. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. If you're listening right now, you're probably listening on Mixler. If you are watching, you're probably watching on YouTube, Facebook, or not Facebook right now. Mixler is listening, Twitch, Twitter. I don't know where we're at right now. We are recording there live on Mixler. Okay, we're up and going. Today is December 16th, 2019, the year of our Lord.
Ding.
Ding. There we go. 9 days from Christmas. Are you ready?
I think so. I mean, honestly, it's one of those, it's the dad joke. It's like, whatever the kids or anybody else gets and everything.
It's
I'm just as surprised
to you.
as they are.
That's the same with me. I mean, there's a few, I guess, of the major or big things that I probably know, but other than that, and my daughter knows everything I'm getting because she goes with my wife. She knows everything she's getting. It's really just me and my son that are surprised every year, going on probably the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So, and then there's usually something my wife surprises, Blaze with. But
yeah.
Other than that, not much. What have you been up to, buddy?
Just filling out online applications.
All over?
And waiting for no one to talk to me.
If you were guessing or taking a guesstimate, how many total applications would you say you've put in?
At least 50, if not more. Probably at least 3 or 4 a week. And I mean, I know that probably still makes what I'm thinking low, but I don't know. I usually try to get about 3 or 4.
Did you put in
every week.
An onslaught in the beginning, or were you more like specific in the beginning where like, hey, I'm out of a job, this is exactly what I want to do? I was very
specific.
Now your umbrella is opening.
When I got laid off and started doing it, and now I'm more generalizing. It's like I could do this job if someone would actually hire me to do it. I'm
willing to prove myself. I have the education that gets me there, but maybe not the specific training you're looking for.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like manufacturing engineer. Basically, all they do is run around and, especially like on some sort of assembly line, they sit there and take a look at it. They'll time how long it takes to build whatever. And then they go through and figure out where the most amount of time is being taken up and how they can make that faster.
Okay.
And I might not necessarily have the specific training for that.
But
I've been in manufacturing for 20-some years. It's like I can literally walk in there and go, and do that time study or whatever, and know, okay, yeah, right here's where it sits the longest. Let's look at that area and figure out how to make it faster. It's like that's not something you need lean training or Six Sigma or some training. I mean, I'm sure that shit helps. But if you've been doing manufacturing, if you've been in the labor side of manufacturing for that long, you don't need that training. You know exactly where it's at.
See,
and
I think
say, look, this is what's
if I ever think about
up.
Changing, that's where my flaw, or like even when I was quitting my business and going somewhere, I think that's where my flaw was. Like, I'm very capable of doing so many things, but my job training and my history is only specified to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's always my fear, and even like looking for and or approaching trying to find another job is
well, it definitely I mean, jobs have gotten so far away from let's talk to somebody or having a conversation with somebody. Did I not do that right? Damn it. Okay, my bad. Sorry. But
Now we're live on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So they're just they're so far, you know, they blockaded themselves away from actual, interaction with people.
Oh yeah, with the all the online stuff,
I mean,
you can't
there's
go
so
prove
much.
yourself
There's so
because,
much I could tell people and get them to listen to me,
but you can't get that far.
and be like, this guy would probably be a good fit for this
but
position.
I can't get there.
But you can't get there, and
Oh,
it's
I'm with you.
so goddamn frustrating.
Well, that's perfect. In a couple years ago, YMCA was looking for a sports director job, and whatever, not a big deal. But I was at the time was coaching full time. It was a great thing to kind of help what I wanted to do. It was something I could be around the coaching and around the sports and around that stuff all the time. And the person that was there was this 20-something-year-old person. They were unorganized. They didn't know stuff. They were messing everything up. And, I used to help them. I'd help them just do some, like, they were new when I came on it, so I'd been coaching there for quite a while. So I'm like, hey, they did this and they did this, and you do that,
Yeah.
And then he's like, man, you'd be awesome for this job. He came to me and was leaving. He's like, hey, what's your college education? I dropped out. I nothing. I've been a manager, account manager for multiple years. I've been management everywhere I've been. And he's like, I mean, they want a bachelor in anything, and you could have
which is stupid. I mean, really. I mean,
but it's so dumb. That's where
and granted that was something that was really pushed when me and you were growing up. I know you're a little bit younger than me and everything, but that was one thing that was so pushed on people when we were growing up. Is you have to get into college and get a college education to get a job, and now those people are the ones hiring, so they've got that mindset, and it's like, no,
I regret it.
There's so many smart people that don't have that kind of education, and
that's what I keep
for
telling
some stuff it's unneeded.
I keep telling Amy, I one day, and like, it'd probably get me in trouble one day talking about Switch. Anyways, but, I keep praying one day that and that's kind of how I got the job I am now, because the owner knows me and he knows I'm capable of more than whatever my education background says. But I keep praying, hey, I'm in that certain situation at dinner and I'm talking to somebody because I'm a good talker in those situations. And some guy's like, man, I just need you to come on and blah, blah, blah. But every time I've looked for jobs or done anything, it's always about that college education I don't have. So I've got management, I've got on-the-job training. I mean, everywhere, but none of that is what matters. So,
and honestly, for me, on-the-job training is going to trump education any day of the week.
If I'm hiring, that's what I look for. I don't want, like, if I was doing like computer designing stuff or like something like that, I want somebody that's done that stuff for a long time, not somebody fresh out of school. If I, now maybe if I'm looking for a cheap budget guy that I just want to do things that I'm telling them to do, then maybe I do want a guy fresh out of school that I can pay the cheapest amount. But again, if I'm looking for a skilled position and it's something that is going to affect my company long term or whatever, I want somebody that has done it, or I know can do it. All right, real quick, on this day, we're going to do a new thing. We're going to open up toward the end. I'm going to do an on this day. So on this day in 1944, Nazi Germany launches a counteroffensive against the Allies in the region of Belgium, beginning the Battle of the Bulge. So that's and none of these will be, I try to do funny stuff, but I couldn't find a funny on this day. There wasn't. I thought there were some others. In 1998, the Iraq disarmament crisis, Operation Desert Eagle, the United States and United Kingdom bombed targets in Iraq. In 1920, an 8.5 earthquake on the Richter scale. Earthquake rocks the Gansu province of China, killing an estimated 200,000. If that would have happened here, how big a part of the history would that be? I mean, because how much, like, I'd be interested in, this is probably horrible for me, but how many people died in, like, the San Francisco earthquakes? I know it wasn't near
not that number. No.
In 1773, Boston Tea Party incident. Sons of the Liberty protesters throw shipments of tea into the Boston Harbor to protest the British tea tax. I think everybody knows about that.
Taxation is theft.
But I didn't know it was on today.
Yeah, neither did I.
So that's on this day in history. Next week, I'm going to start writing. I'll try to have some rock ones. When I used to do Casey's Playtime, I used to always start out the show and I do On This Day and do some rock history.
Yeah.
So, well, Skin Man said he was on his way. I don't know if he's coming. He may have already quit the show. It's hard to know. I called him. Andy kind of overheard the conversation. Hey, bud. Up there he is. I said,
He showed up.
what you doing?
I didn't steal his thunder enough.
No, not yet. I said, what you doing? And he said, snow day. And I said, yeah, show day. He said, yeah, me and the kids went sledding. And I said, you coming? Yeah. And he made it sound like he was down the road. And what I'm guessing was when we called him, he just started heading this way. So
Well, hopefully he didn't hurry too much, because I swear over here, they don't do shit to your roads.
Oh my God, they're so bad. I was
like, I actually right there, the turn on Grove and everything. I was kind of crapping myself. I was like, all right, I'm not stopping.
You got to be it. And my road, the whole road is crowned.
Yeah.
And
Because
so
I hit the brakes first, and I started sliding toward the ditch, and I was like, no. And so I actually got up into the center of the road, and then was trying to slow down. But I'm like, I'm going through the stop sign.
Yeah, you got to start pumping them and touching them soon. When I had my plow truck all going, I used to do that intersection, the front one, and then right at mine, it was nice.
Well, Elon Musk was a little smart, I guess. We all should have bought one of those flamethrowers and just walked out to our roads and blow torched them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was filming a documentary on werewolves, wombats, and overalls. It's Skin Man.
Hey, better late than never.
What's up, Batty?
Oh, just running late.
That's okay. We start out the show. We're only probably 15 minutes in. 13. We had some technical difficulties. Facebook fell apart on us. Welcome, Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook.
Hello, friends.
We'll do it again. If you're listening on Mixler. You could be watching on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, lots of places.
Why would you want to watch?
3 beautiful men, 1 room. Or you could watch our ugly asses.
Right. Yeah.
What's been up, buddy? You snow day today. That's what we got.
Day.
Okay, so you were out playing in the snow?
Yeah.
No work today, obviously.
No.
You can't work on forklifts in the snow.
No.
So
my boss said when the roads are slick, just don't
stay
even
home.
call.
And kids,
Stay the fuck home.
Kids, no school.
No.
My kids were canceled too. So you
Yeah.
guys, any sleds and stuff were involved?
Yes.
Any power items to pull sleds, or just hills and sleds?
Just the hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you something. Since I know where you live and everything, is it kind of frustrating? Because it's like it's right there.
Right.
Walk across the street, and go to school.
No, but that's safe.
Right?
As far as the buses go, you couldn't get a bus.
No, I know it was pretty nasty.
Yeah, with the ice and then snowpack. That's just done.
Our roads weren't the highways on my way into work weren't way too bad. It was. If you're not from this area, we're in the Midwest, and we had a snowstorm overnight.
There was 3 spots I couldn't stop with 4-wheel drive. So 4-wheel drive don't really mean shit unless.
No, it's not 4-wheel stop. It's 4-wheel drive.
If it's ice, you can either slide on 2 wheels or you can slide on 4.
No, you slide on 4 always, but just 4 that have power or 2 that
we
have
were
power.
sliding on 4 today because it was my youngest and 3 of her friends, and they're like, "Oh my God, does anybody not watching what he's doing on the road?"
I tell you what, this whole front wheel drive nonsense. It's better in the snow and ice. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The problem
Go
is
drive my
your
BMW. Yes.
powered wheels are also your steering wheels, and it does not work.
It does work.
It
now,
doesn't.
for stopping,
No, it
it doesn't. For driving, it does. For controlling,
Nah.
when you yes, I will fight you to the death.
No.
You go get my BMW, and then you go drive. I promise we'll have a different conversation. Even just normal acceleration, like when you're doing 20 or 30, it makes a big difference. You can kind of get it, and at least
All you have to do is just go down to the stop sign now.
so.
No, that stop was
in my
crazy.
particular
I was
area,
like,
they
holy
do nothing
shit.
to these roads.
I'm
Dude,
glad
that's
there
a
wasn't.
Beamer.
I'm glad there wasn't somebody there because I had to run through it.
You know, you would think with all these $1 million homes back here that they would treat the roads, but
No,
and it used to be county. Now it's considered Wichita. I don't know. You call them complain, but
it's
it does.
still a sheet of ice.
I know, but everywhere else they've
You can
treated
call
it.
it city or county. Okay, that's great. We ain't doing shit.
I know. I've noticed. Anything exciting since last show other than snow day? Did you bring a top 10 list?
I had a week to work on my homework, and just exactly like when I was in school, I was thinking about it on the way over here. I have a solid 5.
You disappoint me. Well, I'm going to do a story, and I need you to.
I'm not going first.
I know you're not.
Figured you do a story, he do a story, and do you have your top 10 list?
He does.
Yeah,
we have a top. We both have a top 40 or 50 list, but yeah.
I'll come up.
We already know
Okay,
your top one.
How about this? I will maybe.
Okay, place your bets.
Sorry, if you don't know, there was a homework assignment last week on the show. We did a top 100 TV shows, which was a horrible mistake on my part, and then a top 20 list. And I decided, hey, we'll start doing a top 10 every week. And my homework assignment was top 10 favorite movies. And my hope was
I'm starting with 10 right there. I'm doing my homework right
my
now.
hope was, and I guess the way, and
20%.
I didn't want to do this yet. Anyways, my hope was that you'd come up with 10, and then we have a whole thing that's going to go with it. So we'll get back to that. So you have to come up with the top 10 movies. I'm going to do a story here real quick to start. With the holidays coming up, I have a 141-year-old fruitcake is a Michigan family heirloom. That's after last week's fruitcake and everybody enjoying it, I thought, why not? Some families pass down jewelry, watches, or even recipes, but a Michigan family has its own heirloom, a 141-year-old fruitcake. That's an old fruitcake. It's a great thing, said Julie Rutlinger, the great-granddaughter of Fedonia Ford, who baked a cake in 1878. It's a tradition, it's a legacy. The cake was initially preserved to honor Ford, who established a tradition of baking a cake and letting it age before serving it during holiday seasons. Ford died at 65 before her 1878 cake could be eaten. And by the time the holidays arrived, the family considered her handiwork a legacy, not food. Until his 2013 death, the cake was in the care of Rutlinger's father, Morgan Ford, who was Fidelia's great-grandson. He had stored it in an antique glass dish on the top shelf of china in their home, where it remains today. He took care of it and left the earth, whatever. We knew it meant a lot to him. I don't know, that to me seems completely, I don't know, weird, I guess, obviously. Would you eat, if I could come across this 141-year-old cake, any chance either of you two would eat this?
No.
Skin Man?
No way.
No. Not even like, for what amount of money would it take for you to eat like just a little sliver of it?
I'm unemployed, and I'd say $100.
$100 to do it? Would you eat a little, like, I don't know, just like a cap size piece of it?
How old is it?
141 years.
No. They had different diseases back there. No.
You've been immunized.
How old do you think I am?
Close to 141, I was assuming.
I'm in my 120s at best.
Okay. Anyways, that's the oldest fruitcake on recorded existence. Well, they say fruitcake never goes bad. That's the only reason I asked that. So,
Yeah, but it's not a Twinkie.
it's not. Would you eat a 141-year-old Twinkie?
They weren't made back then.
In 75 years, when they become 141 years old, would you eat? All right. You got anything, Andy?
Citrus spill. Rogue grapefruits halt traffic on Florida Road.
That's going to be sticky.
Ocoee, Florida. Traffic came to a standstill when nearly 1,000 grapefruits spilled from a delivery truck onto a Florida turnpike in Orange County, authorities said. The fruit handling
County.
truck was traveling on the turnpike Wednesday afternoon when crates inside the vehicle broke. Florida Highway Patrol said The grapefruit spilled from the vehicle and blocked a section of roadway near Okie. I don't know how. It's
Okay.
OCOEE.
OC? Yeah, I don't know
The
either.
truck pulled over so the remaining fruit could be secured. Traffic was stopped completely for several minutes while state workers cleaned up the spilled citrus
Rogers, you're not going to
to
believe
open
this.
one lane. Video
It
taken
happened
by
again.
witnesses showed crews using push brooms to round up the rolling fruits.
Not
Took another
since
3
'84 have I seen a
hours
spill like
to
this.
clear the rest of the roadway and return traffic to normal. No injuries were reported, though.
Well, yeah, some of the citrus lost their life. You don't take that into account in your story.
Well, we don't count all those cars that run off into the swamps because we just don't ever
They're
look for them.
Not going in. Not going in. Well, I remember the first time. I seen the truck tip over. That's how Orange County was named, right? There was a spill back in '23. I'm not shitting you. This was Rutherford, BC County before that, and they switched it up to Orange County because it just was tipping orange trucks everywhere. Orange County. I think they grow them good out here too. I'm not sure. I did have this was one I couldn't find it. I need to find it on here. It made me smile when I read that, only because it's fitting to the show and fitting, but now I can't find it. Is this one on your list? Runaway teen found living in Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yes.
Pull that one up if you can. That one, it has left my list. But because it's apropos to the show, because one, Bed Bath & Beyond's big, but two, because if one place this would go along with E. You dump E off in the woods, he could survive anywhere. You dump me off Bed Bath & Beyond, I got it.
Teen runaway found camping inside Bed Bath & Beyond. Greenville, North Carolina. Employees at a Bed Bath & Beyond in North Carolina discovered an uninvited sleepover guest hiding in the store when they opened up Monday morning. The Greenville employees called the local police at 8:30 a.m., and the officers responded to a breaking and entering in progress.
We got a
The
B&E down here.
intruder turned out to be a 14-year-old runaway who had
Bed Bath
camped
&
out
Beyond.
at the store overnight after leaving home. The teen wasn't harmed and was taken back to his house. His name has not been released. That was the end of that damn story. It was a real quick story.
Third time we've caught a guy living in here. Listen, ever since they started doing that Naked and Afraid show, we keep catching these goddamn millennials in Bed Bath & Beyonds. I caught one in a fucking Gander Mountain the other day. He was living there. He said, I'm a mountain man. I said, no. You're living off of people's lunches they're leaving in the fridge. You got warm clothes. You're shooting targets at night. You're not living like a wild man. Lonesome duck dating ad seeking match for a man's grieving bird. Blue Hills, Maine. There's no Tinder for waterfowl, but that didn't stop a Maine bird's owner from trying to find a match for his mourning duckling. I'm so sad my duck's not been getting laid. I'm not working. One of Chris Morse's ducks, yellow duck, lost its mate to a hungry bobcat a couple weeks ago at Morse Yard in Blue Hill. Morse, a 31-year-old special education teacher, drew up a singles ad for yellow duck and placed it on the community bulletin board at the local grocery store. It declares, duck seeking duck. Lonesome runner duck seeks companion. Partner recently deceased. It also includes email address dedicated to the dating search and states, serious replies only. Duh. There's no joke when you're talking about duck dating. The Bangor Daily reports farm owner Sadie Green might have just ducked to mend yellow duck's broken heart. Green and Morse are arranging a meeting of the ducks on Sunday. If you pay for it, is that considered, like if one duck, listen, they're not going to work out, but he can, $30. Is that considered, is that illegal? That was a short one too. Big Date Morse said. And that's it. That's where that one leaves off. Dating duck. That would have been good for, Misconnections.
Oh yeah.
I'm a yellow duck. I seen you waddle by, black duck. You remember me? I'm the yellow duck. Look on the pond. We've lost Skin Man because of the homework. I almost thought about just changing it to a top 5 because I knew I wasn't going to have him for whatever part of the show.
Well, that's not fair. I only blame myself.
That's okay. We blame you too.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't only blame yourself. We also blame you. So don't bear the
As
burden.
long as everyone's on the same page.
Don't bear the burden alone. I've always said, not when others can help. I did have. It's gone. Meghan Markle. We used to when this show first started. It was we used to try to do an MSN story. I had the bear story. It won't come up. This was a weird one. But bear attacks in California. They were just driving along and the bear jumped up on the hood of the car. It honked and it ran off. That was the story. I couldn't get the video to come up, but I did write it down, so I wanted to do it.
Lame story.
I know it's the worst one ever, but I couldn't get it to play, and I was gonna make one up, but Skin Man's doing homework, so I couldn't do it with him. I did have boy, this would be another one of those dumb ones if I read it. Bucket list: 50 things to try in 2020. We'll just a staycation. Number 3, a cooking class. Volunteer at a charitable organization. Declutter your home. Pick up some trash. These are kind of things you should just do. Pay for somebody. I did pay for somebody else's coffee. I had a weird thing the other day. I was on my way to, I don't even know where I was. I don't even remember where I was going now. But I stopped at Quick Trip. On my way to my daughter's basketball game, and got me a couple of the bean rollers off the roller plate there. And I went up there and I had that and just a $1.79 drink. Total $3.50, something like that. And this guy, kind of grumpy fucker, like cut me off. I mean, I was standing up there and he walked right in front of me and looked, and I'm like, "It's cool, dude. Go ahead, man." He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it's all good. You look like you need." And he was holding a 30-pack of beer. I said, "You need it more than I do." And he got a chuckle and he set it up there, and I set mine up the side, and he said, "I got his too." And I said, "Don't do that." And I mean, granted, it was a cheap. He's like, he wouldn't take no, and the guy rang it up, and I thought he didn't ring the whole thing up, and the guy I'm like, "What do I owe you?" He's like, "No, he got you, man." I'm like, "Thanks, man." That was first time somebody's done that. So buy somebody coffee. If you see somebody stand there with somebody cheap, not you, Andy, because you're unemployed. Buy Andy coffee, but if you see somebody standing there and they look like they're having a bad day, buy them something. I don't know.
Damn, you look like you need a soda.
Number 8 on the list: observe nature. Number 9: go vegetarian or vegan for a week. These are bucket lists.
3 days is strong.
Bucket list for 2020.
2 days was a son of a bitch.
Make a health pack with a friend. This year, hey, Andy, this year instead of cutting each other, we'll make a health pack, buddy. Watch a sunrise.
Without watching porn along with it.
Damn.
Take a train or a ferry ride. Now, there are some people that could, I'm not going gay this year, so you keep your ferry ride to yourself. I'm okay with it. I don't care. Take all the ferry rides you want to, but don't force a ferry ride on me. Learn a new language. The basics of a new language. I would love, and I know this is stupid, and everybody says, well, don't learn their language. They're in our country. I'd love to learn Spanish. Because I'd love to spend time in Mexico someday, because it's the only way I'm going to afford to be able to retire. 2, you see where I'm going there?
Yeah.
I would love to go to like Spain. It seems like a cool place, and I know there are different types. I need to learn Mexican and Spanish.
Yeah, it is way different. My wife tells me that all the time.
I know. I have a chick that we hired to be our translator at Suburban. She was our HR lady, and she was like a master's in Spanish, and she couldn't communicate with half the Hispanics.
Now, I'm sure Chip would probably say the same thing, but he
knows this.
He knows.
But that's what he specialized in for a job for a while, so he had to. But the Spanish he learned in college
is way different. I'm sure he would. Yeah, he would know that.
Try a new dish at a restaurant. If you have a favorite restaurant, try something new.
I always try that.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm probably occasionally, but especially I'm so afraid to get a bad meal because I don't go out a ton that I usually get what I know is good.
Yeah.
Well, the 99 to 2000 New Year, me and my wife and some friends of ours, we took a 7-day cruise
Uh-huh.
over that, which was really cool and everything. But that was one thing we did is we went to the formal dining every night,
And tried different stuff.
and anything that
Give me a steak
wasn't normal,
tartare.
whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, I would
Give me the duck laced with mongoose.
purposely ordered that stuff to see what it was like.
These seem like things like we're number 15. Start meditating, which is actually not a bad thing, but to force that on people, grow a plant, make at least one new friend. I did talk about that at work today. This guy at work's like, because Conrad's gone, so there's like everybody knows there's an opening on my list.
Right.
So and I don't know if people are trying to fill it
There's
as
a mad scramble.
Yeah.
Who's going to be
And I
your
don't
number
think-
one?
exactly, and I don't think nobody else knows that but me. But
Yeah, they're lining up to come over here and talk to me. Yeah, I just need the fucking part to put it on.
there's this young kid and he's got a mullet and he's our new. He was Conrad's little cutie before he quit, and I kind of started taking him under my wing. I was being too nice to him for a while, so he was getting real comfortable. So now a couple days a week, I'm a dick to him because that. And so he's like, "Why are you being mean to me today?" And I said, "Do you want to be my friend?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Then you'll get to learn me." And I just walk away and just do shit like that all the time. And he'd be like, "You doing good? You doing good today?" And I'll be like, "When you know me, you'll know me." And so he don't want to be my friend at this point. Conrad would ask me if I want to take a shower about right now. What do you say?
That fucker's too moody.
That's what he's like. God, Casey is crazy as fuck.
No, he's just moody.
Discover a new local rock band or local band. Make a snowman. Today would have been a good day for that. Take a break from social media. That's a great idea. I've kind of, in the last couple weeks, distanced myself from most.
I haven't been.
I know you're
on-
not. You're not a
Since
big one. And Andy
before
uses it for the most
Halloween.
part the right way. But he's on the same page as me. We had a talk social media before he came here. He's as equally needed as me as taking a break, especially with him not working. He's scrolling the book. I do it at work.
That's all I do. I rarely post.
I know, but
Yeah.
the scrolls make you matter, and it gets you thinking different. It's not,
Well, no, not necessarily. It's like, okay,
but you want to say stuff. You're like,
see you
"Ugh."
later. See you later. See you later. All right, now everything I want, just
That's why I
stuff
said
I want to watch. Look at.
if I spend 30 minutes snoozing or blocking the right stuff when I open up Facebook, then I can get
Yeah.
2 minutes of good reading. Or no, there's some decent stuff on there. I wish there really. I want to start an app that is truly friends and family.
There's a
posting
new
their
one.
events.
There is a new one
What's that?
right now. It's like MeWe,
Snapperbox.
MEWE, is a new social media like Facebook type
Well,
thing.
you're now that since you
coming
know
up.
that you're ahead of it, you're ahead of getting us ahead of that platform there. Can we get on it? That's what happens.
As far as
to
I
'em.
know.
That's what happens to them. People like us get on there to exploit people, and that's what happens to them. Check off some stuff on your to-do list, which is, I think, what we're reading a list on. Change your hairstyle. I've been thinking about that. When I go in this next time, I've been growing it. I shaved the beard off this week, which was a big step for me. And, well, I mean, I know there's still a little bit
Okay,
left.
look up the term off.
Okay,
and
I
then,
shaved I shaved the girth of my beard
You
off.
trimmed it.
I more than
You
trimmed it.
trimmed it. It looks neat.
I more than trimmed it. I
It's a short beard now.
yeah, it looks
You
yeah.
don't look. You don't look like.
Yeah.
I don't look
just
hot.
Rape a canoer.
I don't look hot no more, right? So that's what I said, Amy. I called her right when I got. I said either this guy was really nice or he thought I was a homeless guy, so he just bought my lunch.
Time to trim the beard.
When that guy buys that's why I said it's time to trim the beard.
That or start doing Mountain Dew commercials.
Try a new sport or activity.
I had the fact that it was a picture of yoga
Yeah, I know.
as like
I did.
what?
But then
Yeah,
it
come
said
on.
sport. But that's why I said or activity.
Yeah.
I had to
Well-
add that in. That was a bad one because it said try a new sport and it was yoga. Call a long lost friend. I've been reaching out to the last year or two. Been kind of reaching out to some people I hadn't for a while. So into pointless friendship. I've been working on that. There's 5 guys that are in my life right now that
They come over here every goddamn week.
I wasn't saying you. There's 5 other guys in my life that right now. We're gonna skip past some of these. Take a mental health day.
I'm sorry, I was reading. Did I miss something?
Yeah, I was. You're on my list. Most of my friends take an online course, buy a random book. These are all things like it seems like they're pushing somebody's agenda on me. Become a mentor. I would love to be like your mentor, Andy, and help you get a job, help you
Should
get
buy
going.
a book in general. That's random.
Yeah.
Attend a poetry night. I would love to attend a poetry night as a show and Skin Man go up there with just save like your last 8 limericks and just read them. Visit an art gallery, develop a good habit, go to a flea market, save up for something special, revive an old passion. All right. So that was the 50 bucket list. That was not as bad as the 100 list, but all right, we're going to get to the heart of it now. Do you have
anything on there about shooting somebody in the face?
No, these are all things probably to chill out. They're probably I will say there was a couple of them on there definitely that
I'm gonna cripple somebody after closing time.
I'd like to maybe do some yoga or something. I'm hurting all the time, and maybe meditate while I'm doing yoga and buying a book. If I could knock a whole bunch of these out on a day,
If you could meditate and buy a book,
I'd be kicking ass. Floating. Yeah. That's my I don't remember what they call that. My meta or whatever.
and it's all even before December.
Yeah, I'm not doing all. No, these are 2020 things.
Yeah, but you start now to where you don't have to get into that habit. It's like, well, New Year's resolutions. No, why not? Why not do it this week? Why you gotta wait till January, you fucking slacker?
Well, because then when somebody, that's true. Well, that was like not last year, but the year whenever. I guess it was last year. It was 18 when we started the race to 180, and that was kind of a thing to kick off a year of trying to be in better health and better shape. And I had a great run at it, and
are you back up to
and then he got a tapeworm, and
yeah, and then I got tapeworm and got sick.
It was 70 pounds.
Yeah, I got down to 143 pounds, and then and yeah, I'm hovering about 170.
It was cold a lot. He kept wearing a parka during the show.
Yeah, in the summer. No, I'm about 175.
Nice.
So back to running. I messed up my knee, so I'm on a little break. I worked pretty hard to try to get in shape or for that Thanksgiving run,
right,
and may have overextended myself like I often do. So now I'm trying to take a little break, but I don't want it to be anyways. So last week we ended the show saying we were going to do a top.
Let him go. Let him go.
We were going to do a top 10 list, and that top 10 list we didn't leave. So next week we're going to do, and we this may change. We were going to do top 10 favorite TV shows. I think I'm going to change that, but that led us to prompt us to we're going to do top 10 movies. Well, this was interesting because I guess the reason I picked movies to start. We're going to review this list in say 6 weeks or something after we do a couple more of these lists we're going to do. And I think just like he found, like I found, I didn't start doing. Over the week. I mean, after last show, I started thinking, hey, I know what my number 1 is. I know what my number 2 is. And then there was a couple movies floating in on my head. And then today was when I really picked it up. Well, I was trying to come up with 10 without doing any online research, without searching genres, without searching anything. I got about 6. And I'm like, well, I need. So then I kind of did what Andy ended up doing. We had a talk before the show where, hey, I kind of just searched, whatever database. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, crap, there's all these movies. How do I come up with a top 10?
If you have to be reminded.
That's kind of, there was my.
True, 10, but we are in our 40s.
Like,
I know, but that's where, and so there, again, so with my list, that was kind of how it went was I have my original, basically 10 to 13 I wrote down, and then as I started reviewing, I started changing it, but if you'll look, my originals go down here, and then I kind of started adding in a whole bunch of crap, but I'm going to...
I like how your list kind of does this, and then goes...
Because it was just going to be 10 down the side, and then I'm like, So I'm going to go with my original 10, but then I'm going to have some honorable mentions. And again, I don't know. These to me, would probably be my 10 because there was
another month we're going to do a revision?
Yeah, basically, because we're going to do a genre. Well, anyways, next week we're going to do like for next week's show, it's going to be top 10 franchises, movie franchises, and then we'll do like
What's a movie franchise?
like a Die Hard, 1, 2,
something
3,
something with like 3 or more
yeah,
Okay.
movies.
yeah, anything
Favorite trilogies.
yeah, or it doesn't have to be trilogy. It can be 2, it can be 5, it can be Iron Man's or whatever that Star Wars or whatever.
Not a whole lot of trilogies.
There's
really.
a lot of franchises when you start thinking about it. There is. Well, that's
Not
what.
really.
Well, we'll get there, anyways, and then we'll do like genre stuff, favorite comedies, favorite.
There's enough to pull off
Action.
more than 10.
Yeah, way more than 10.
Yeah, you can do a list of 10 off of trilogies.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start it. We're gonna do top 10. I'll just do my 10, and I've got some honorable mentions that I'll bring in. So
Okay, start with 7.
I don't have 7 picked yet. But anyways, so what's going to be to me the most interesting about this is that how different our 10 are going to be, and some of these movies people are going to be like, that was one of my most hated movies. So anyways,
Yeah.
number 10 on my list, just because it was a huge hit and it was part of my everyday life, Anchorman. Sorry, I'm not looking up there. I'm just looking. It was one of those movies. One, I watched it. To me, a top 10 movie is something you've seen more than 10 times.
Right.
You can, at the drop of a dime, could recite, 12 to 15 different, 10 different things from. So Anchorman was a huge part of a bunch of guys I worked around. We all watched it. We all had a brick. We had a champ.
Right.
So it was a big part of our life. So that was my number 10. Number 9, I think, and you'll also find most of mine are comedies, and that anyways, Blazing Saddles, and probably would be higher on my list, but I kind of come up with it later, and and also I consider a top 10 movie something every time you go by, you can watch. There's not a time it's not a good time to watch it.
Right.
So, and plus, that's so un-PC. Number 8.
It makes fun of everybody.
Number 8 also will fall into my franchises next week, but not Caddyshack. The original. One of my favorite movies. One of those things.
Why would that be in a franchise?
Because there's 2 and 3.
Oh, I had no idea.
Well, see, now you got some homework. But those could also fall into. We'll do anyways. So number 8 was Caddyshack. Number 7 for me, the original Delta Force.
Right.
I'm a huge, and that'll also go into my franchises, but I'm a huge Chuck Norris guy. It was like before Rambo, or I'm pretty sure it came out before Rambo.
It did.
It was Chuck Norris, badass. It was saving, it was the same. It was Rambo with Chuck Norris. It essentially was, except for he was a POW, and anyways, he goes back to save him. So that was number 7. Number 6 for me, Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. Again, seen it a billion times. It's one of those ones. If I go by it, love it. Also fits me. Number 5, and this was a hard one for me because I could have. And this may be a thing we're gonna do. Top 10 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, because he's a big part of my list of movies that I started going through. But Bloodsport's probably my favorite. It was between Bloodsport and Kickboxer. I didn't want to put 2 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies in my top 10. And nobody else in the world has a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in their top 10. But that's where I stand apart. Bloodsport. Number 4, Billy Madison. To me, one of the best comedies ever. A ton of quotable things. I could watch it anytime. Stupid comedy, nothing to think about, but great. 3, Tommy Boy. Same thing. Probably my favorite comedian of all time. I wish he could have been around longer. Great movie, same thing, whole way through, hilarious. I could watch it. It holds up. Now my number 1 and 2. Number 2 was in my tape player for literally 2 years straight. A year of it, I didn't have cable TV or nothing. I lived at a house with some guys. We didn't have nothing. Fight Club. I've seen it a billion times. Also, since I was a big Limp Bizkit, no, that goes different story. But it was an awesome, make you think movie, and you had to watch it 5 or 6 times to actually see everything that was going on and figure everything that was going on. And it was one of those, first time you watch it, you don't realize it was a rail against society type movie. It was it was Big Brother, I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. And the first time you watch it, you don't realize that the one character is the same guy inside his head. If you haven't seen it, you don't know. And then my favorite movie of all time, I could go by it. It's on any time. Andy Dufresne was a good man. Shawshank Redemption. There's not one time that you could ever. That's not a good time to watch that movie. If you're sad, if you're happy, if you're down, if you're whatever, that movie brings out all of those emotions anyway.
Right.
So great movie, long movie, and that's one of those movies again. If it's 2 hours in, or if only the last 20 minutes are left or whatever, I can still pick it up and watch it right there. Just when Red's getting dropped off at the black wall or the old wall, and he goes and finds. I mean, great movie. So that's my top 10. Now I did have, as I was going through, a shit ton of honorable mentions. That was what my list is huge.
Let's not get into those.
Well, there's a couple that I have to, like Die Hard was one that was hard not to fit into my top 10 because again I've seen it a billion times. We should have did a top 10 Christmas movies. Zombieland, another one that's for me, I could watch it every time. Dude, Where's My Car almost made my top 10, which is a movie that would probably fall on everybody's most hated. Super Troopers, Dust to Dawn.
Right.
I mean, there's a ton of those movies that's why a top 10 was hard for me, because every one of those movies I named, if it's on TV and I flip by it, I can watch it, and I've watched it multiple times. So that's my top 10.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes of From Dusk Till Dawn, it was what was it, Kevin that did the Jay and Silent Bob movies. Kevin.
I don't even know his name.
Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Smith.
Kevin Smith. He had the police called on him because he had his kick-ass surround sound, and he had it blaring, and then his neighbors thought that someone was murdered next door.
Well, that's what. See, that would even fall in, like, if we ever break this real far down, like those movies that made you think the most, because that was one of those movies for the first hour and a half of it. There was no fucking zombies in it. There was nothing even resemblance of that or hour into it, and then all of a sudden, I mean, there's murder. There's all kinds of crazy shit that happens. Then all of a sudden they're at a bar, titties are out, and then done. I mean, there's people that think they've seen Dust to Dawn that don't even know it's a vampire movie because they only watched it till they got to the bar. Or there's people that picked it up at the bar and only watched the last half that only think it's a vampire movie.
Right.
So if you haven't seen it, sorry to spoil it for you.
Well, it's not really new. So
Well, I know, but there's
I don't
people
think
that
we have to come out and say, "Oh, spoiler alert."
Well, there might be people that are like, "Fuck, I haven't seen it." And there another one that was hard to keep off my list, but will go into my franchises. Fletch. So that's my top 10. Andy, we're gonna make you do yours next. Andy was whining to me. He was like, "I can't top 10 mine. It's so hard."
Well, can't. Basically, I have 10. I've got more than that, obviously, but I've got
that you like.
I've got 10 that I'm picking as my top 10 list. I do have a number one, but the other ones are in
As
no
long as you have a
order.
reason why number one is number one, everything else is just shuffling.
Yeah. So anyway, just like
Number
in
10.
no particular order.
Nope,
Willow.
number 10. Go ahead.
Willow.
Gross.
Okay.
What?
That's okay. Pick.
That's good. That's a good movie. It would
Good
never
one.
have made my top 10,
It's
but that
pretty
is an
dated
awesome.
anymore, but
it's an awesome.
It was a damn good movie.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
You're, people,
Peck.
Number 9.
Indiana Jones and Temple Doom.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
They're all. I think they're
that's-
all
and
good,
that-
but
that's what I was gonna say. That's
out of
one that-
those. That's my favorite.
Right.
No, you said there's not 10. We're up to 6.
Okay. Like a dog with a bone. He's like, "Arr."
The Martian, because I just thought it was awesome, and I'm kind of a sci-fi geek anyway.
Marvin the Martian.
Now, which one is that?
The one with Matt Damon.
Okay, that's a newer one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where he,
Mhm.
yeah.
Where he's on Mars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Growing
Yeah.
potatoes and blowing himself
See, I haven't
up.
got to see that.
It's actually pretty good.
And then not freezing.
Number 7.
The original Ghostbusters.
There you go. Good
Yeah.
one. Again, falls into the.
This isn't easy.
Golden Child.
Good movie.
I got the 9.
God damn it.
I want the 9.
Please.
See, and the Beverly Hills was hard to not get into the original into my top 10 too, because it's a stupid movie, but it's another one that you.
There's only 2 of them though. That's
There's-
not a.
There's 3, but again, it's a franchise, not a trilogy.
Okay.
We're not doing trilogies. We're doing franchises next week. Go ahead.
Oh well, that just opens
Serenity?
up the floodgates.
Not the
Nice.
not the new
Yeah.
movie. The one off of the TV series Firefly. So
I don't know what that is, but see, this is where people are going to learn a lot about us with
it's
this.
sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah. And to keep up with the sci-fi,
Number 4.
you got Mad Max. Most of them. I'm not really particularly fond of Beyond
Another-
Thunderdome, but it's a good movie.
The new one
But-
or the?
All of them. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd say my favorite is Road Warrior.
Is that the original?
No,
Yeah.
What's
no, it's not. Road Warrior is Mad Max 2.
See,
Okay.
the original is probably my favorite, or it would be the first or the second. I don't like the new ones that much. They're cool. I mean, I
Then
don't.
the first one, Mad
the
Max?
first one is Mad Max, but he starts out as a cop
Right.
and everything, and then in
And
Road
that was
Warrior,
when his wife and kid died.
yes,
Yeah.
So, and then Road Warrior is the second one.
Which one has
Right.
the little kid that's with him the whole time and in the car when he wrecks?
That's
and,
Thunderdome.
See, that one would probably be my favorite. That's the one I know the most.
Or
Okay.
Are you thinking of the?
And it's got the freaking big skull dude and the big semi. We'll find it. We'll
That's
figure-
Road
That's
Warrior.
Thunderdome.
Now I'm hearing different things. We'll
It's Road
we'll have to revisit this. Number
I
3.
guess, you know,
I think it's Thunderdome because that's the reason they do California, the rap song with Sir Mix or goddamn it, Dr. Dre and goddamn it, what, Machiavelli, and they do it in the
Vanilla Ice.
Thunderdome. No, come on.
Battle Angel, which
I-
is fairly new,
I
Right.
don't know what that is.
That's
but
animated.
that was made by James
Is it a
Cameron.
movie? It's
It
a
is.
movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was made by James Cameron, but it's based off of my favorite Japanese manga.
Okay.
So, and then my number one.
Well, that was 3 there. You have 2 and 1. What was?
What?
That was 3. Battle Angel was 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah. 10 Willow, 9 Indiana Jones, The Martian 8, Ghostbusters 7, Golden Child 6, Serenity 5, Mad Max 4, Battle Angels 3.
Oh. All right. Okay.
Is that Judge
No,
Dredd?
the one with Carl Urban. It was just called Dredd.
Okay.
Not Judge Dredd. The
Okay.
one with
not the
Sylvester
not the
Stallone,
Sylvester
no.
one. Okay. Because that one would be my favorite. Now, God damn it, I forgot Demolition Man. Go ahead.
And then my number one is Spaceballs.
See, I was gonna wonder-
because Mel Brooks is fucking awesome.
That's the same
Right.
reason. See, that's why Blazing Saddles, and
Yeah.
that's why I was wondered if Spaceballs would get one. That's a great movie, but it's not in my top 10. It was never that close to me, but it's a great movie, and I could. But
Yeah.
I'm the same with like Robin Hood Men in Tights. I could watch it when it's on because it's Mel
Look
Brooks
up,
and it's great.
Look up The Producers. That's a Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
I have not watched it. There's actually quite a few I haven't, which is more.
Well, that's
you know,
what I was kind of
shame on
hoping
me,
with this.
but-
Maybe you'd revisit some films one day, or maybe
Right.
expand. Because I think like once, like out of, I think every one that I named,
See, you did like at least 18 times
Actually-
the amount of thought that I put into this.
I was
but
on.
I just started writing, and it's
I was
amazing
watching
how.
YouTube the other day, and there's almost kind. I'm pretty sure there was a preview. I don't think this is out yet and everything, but it looked like a comedic biopic on Mel Brooks is supposed to be coming out sometime. Because it was one of the ads at the beginning of one of the things I was watching, and since I saw Mel Brooks, I was like, "What's this?" You
See,
know?
that's what I'm
And I
excited
thought
for.
that looked pretty cool
Top comedies,
because
of course.
Mhm.
it did have like older footage, you know, and there's tons of footage of him, you know, like that where it's all just candid shit behind scenes and everything, and it looked pretty fucking awesome. And I need to look into it and find out what it is because that looked.
I
cool.
just got to mention that it made my favorite thing in this world out of all this list, and even the Willow one got me, but Golden Child at 6 is a great
Yeah.
movie. But that was a good pull. I don't know.
Right.
And that's one of those ones. It's a great movie, and it's Eddie Murphy before he got busted banging dudes dressed as chicks, and which is that was when I liked him the most.
That
Before
was a long time
before
ago.
Doctor Doolittle is what I'm saying.
Right.
I got plenty on here. so-
Give me
but-
3 of your honorable mention.
Oh, just any of them.
Yeah, pick 3 random honorable
The
mentions.
Outsiders.
Okay, great movie.
So
That one I would have got that one. I would have put that one above Willow, but
like I said, I had to pick
I'm just
10.
fucking
I had
with
to
you.
pick
Don't
10.
Don't
So,
fucking.
I know.
Number 2 is Fight Club on my list. Shut up, dude.
So, Blade Runner.
Okay,
Nice.
good one. I probably would have put
I
that
thought of
above.
that one.
I probably would have put that above 4 or 5. Well, I haven't seen The Martian, so I can't. Go ahead.
I mean, like I said, and then Star
Judge
Trek
Dredd.
2.
Star Trek 2.
Yeah, Wrath
The-
of Khan.
Okay. See, and I liked some of the Star Trek.
Star Trek 4 was with the whales.
I got into.
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
No, okay.
I was the weird guy that liked the Picard series better, or whatever his name is, the bald guy. But I got into
The
it.
Next Generation.
Riker and them. I got into it at a different time. I mean, I like the old stuff a little bit, but I just
Yeah, you just helped me. We're gonna have to do one on comedies.
okay. We'll be there. We're gonna do now. We're doing Skin Man's top 10 list. And now, granted, with Skin Man, his is definitely going to change because he wrote his on the fly sitting here. But that's also a good thing because the 10 movies that you have to come up with off the top of your head, I
Right.
would say fall high on your list if you can pull them off your head.
Right.
So, what's
Number
your
10.
Okay,
Running Man.
great,
Nice.
movie. God,
Like I said, if
God,
it would have
that
been
was
on,
Jesse Ventura's best work, man. That's the one we're talking about, right? The original Running Man,
With
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
God, great
only
movie.
one, right?
I know they did a remake. I think.
Are you shitting
Yes.
me?
It's like something. Yes. Yes.
Huh.
Who's
Nine.
next?
9 is Blazing Saddles.
See, we're in the same group there.
8, Meet the Feebles.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah. Your wife will love it.
I'm guessing not.
7 is Kentucky Fried Movie.
I've seen the previews for it, but not seen it. Number 6,
Falling Down.
great movie.
Yeah.
See, and that would probably be, yeah, good pick.
5, The Devil's Rejects.
Good movie. All of those series of those were good. That was definitely the best.
4, Clockwork Orange.
Great movie.
3, Enter the Dragon.
Great
Mhm.
movie.
2, Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah.
See that good movie, but definitely not mine. But that's the point of top 10s. It's not top 10 best movies of all time. It's our favorite.
Right. And my number 1. The kids used to watch it year round, and I never got tired of it.
I'm losing the bet. But then again, his kids are his kids, so maybe not.
Now, you guys both have kids, and you know that when the kids have a movie that they really like and want to watch every day,
It gets annoying most of the time.
right? It gets annoying, and then it's like, I hate that movie because for 5 years they watched it every day. But I still like it.
What do we got, buddy?
A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Ah. I don't.
There's so many great lines in it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Alfie. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good. Maybe we should do next week. We're I don't want to do it. We'll just bring in. We're gonna do. So we're gonna do. I do. We're gonna do our top. So
But no.
what I wanted people to see is that, I mean, everybody's list would be extremely different.
Right.
We only had between the 3 lists one movie that crossed, and that was Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
I think Andy likes the movie, but would be on anybody's list. So, but I think you learn a lot. Like, I'm driven by comedy or
Next week, sci-fi.
no, we're gonna do franchises. We're doing franchises. Then we'll break it down from there. Then we're gonna do comedy and anyway. So next week
How
we're gonna
about
do,
how about we hold off on the franchises
We can do
since next week is just a couple days before Christmas,
okay.
and we do Christmas.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say do your top 5 Christmas on top of
Oh, on top. Oh, okay.
yeah, because
More
But that is too.
homework.
We'll do that. Do your top 10 Christmas movies. We'll do that. I'm with
You're
that.
doing Christmas on top of Christmas?
No, we'll just do top
homework
10
and-
Christmas movies. No franchises next week.
So franchises and top 5 Christmas.
The son of a bitch is one of my favorite holiday movies. Isn't a Christmas movie.
Well, that
It's
we
a
can
Thanksgiving.
we could debate
movie.
that. It doesn't any part of it roll into Christmas in the movie. No,
No, huh?
that's okay. You could if it's on your list. There's going to be some maybe on mine that aren't considered Christmas.
I
I
guess
don't
I'll have
think
to
so.
look at it and make sure, but I think it's not Christmas.
Debbie does
I think it's-
dial. Yep. Nope.
I think
That
it's
didn't come out in
Thanksgiving.
Christmas.
I was going to say that was May of
And it has to
'84.
be. It has to be something to do with Christmas. It can't be as like, well, yeah, it came out in December.
No, yeah, I think, but it doesn't have to be a complete Christmas movie. It doesn't have to be the Christmas story or whatever. It can be something
Well-
that Christmas is happening during.
Yes.
Because even like the movie that Conrad just talked about last show takes place during Christmas. Lead up, it's a Christmas movie, but it's not.
What movie?
The
was that?
Sinbad one. I don't even remember what it's called
Jingle
now.
All the Way.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah,
would
I've never
definitely-
seen it, and
See?
I take pride in never seeing it.
It's a
because
good
I
movie,
will
man.
never see it.
Christmas with the Cranks or something like that. So Elf and whatever. So we'll do that next week. Did you have anything this week, buddy?
As far as stories,
Yeah, anything or anything else? I know you didn't have time to get any ready. MSN isn't providing much.
elderly woman accused of training her 65 cats to steal from neighbors.
Nice.
Okay, I want more.
Sure, we all do. Columbus, Ohio,
So did she.
where insanity was created. An 83-year-old woman was arrested this morning and accused of training dozens of cats to steal jewelry and other valuables from neighbors.
I didn't. They wanted to do it. They was bringing me gifts. They was bringing me gifts.
The Columbus Police Department opened an investigation on, I don't want to give her
Hilda.
a real name. Let's call her Hildegard
Von Schwegener. That'd be a hard one to remember.
Braunschweigener and her 65 cats in October after several neighbors reported small objects being stolen from their homes. Several victims reported being visited by Mrs. B.
Visited or fisted?
Visited.
Okay.
Do we need to turn up the volume in your?
No,
in your
I heard it. I
cans?
just
Oh,
I was
oh,
hoping you said fisted. Sorry, I heard visited perfectly.
Not that kind of cat.
Okay.
Before noticing the disappearance of several shiny objects like valuable cutlery and pieces of jewelry. Okay, nobody wants your damn Ginsus. These people are just picking on the elderly.
I just want to see these cats dragging like they're doing it in the middle of the night and they're just like 4 or 5 of them like
It's like it's like Mission Impossible.
Uh-huh.
Cats with backpacks.
oh yeah they're like
They're wearing little beanies.
and like the
Rappelling
cat's got
from the
like
ceiling.
advanced like they're fucking cat they make like a line and they have little boards taped to them. It looks like the scenery so the cats can just be moving back and forth behind them and people driving by just looks like shrubs and shit and they're just going. I mean,
Move along. I'm a shrub.
I'm a cat. I'm a trained cat. Wow, I want some more stuff. Look at the house over there. We're gonna get some stuff from
Wow,
it.
look at all that.
Wow. Oh, give me some more of that catnip, and I go steal you some more of that. Give me some of that catnip, lady. We'll get you some more of those diamonds you like.
I'm hurting. I need some more nip.
Give me some of that nip.
Despite their
Hey man, what you? Just a little bit, just a little sugar from the little
Little
sugar
bit.
booger. Look at some of that sugar booger nip, bud. Just go.
despite
Got
their
you some Ginsu. Does this work for you? Does this make you happy?
investigators began a surveillance
happy.
operation and were
Wow.
amazed by what they discovered. According to Columbus police, dozens of cats were constantly coming and going, bringing home anything that shined.
Ooh, I like a shiny.
She was like a Fagin. She was like Fagin in Oliver Twist, but she was using cats as thieves instead of children.
Bring me my goodies. Give me my
In
goodies.
less than 3 hours of surveillance, the detectives saw the cats bring home more than 100 objects.
What the?
Most of them were little balls of aluminum foil. I mean, this is.
Ooh, in a meth neighborhood, you could end up with a lot of that.
I should have read through this.
So this could be a real problem because they're in a meth neighborhood and they like shiny stuff. It's not catnip they're addicted to. Is some of that?
It's the stealings that they like.
Hey, open that up, burn it. Let's have some more meth, lady.
Okay, well, maybe not.
So they trained him. She just trained these cats to steal meth, is what it sounds like to me.
Upon searching Mrs. B's house, investigators found $650,000 worth of jewelry
Jesus.
and precious metal among piles
Christ.
of worthless shiny baubles. A total of 65 adult cats and 17 kittens were found on the site and entrusted to the Columbus Humane Society, which was also bought by Chinese Buffet.
Listen, these were my treasures. They stole them from me, and they were just bringing them back. Everybody's been stealing my treasures for years.
The chief
They're
of
mine.
police says the elderly woman confesses to training her cats to steal, saying their felines had to earn their meals.
That's true. They're earning that nip. Give me some of that. Well, I guess if you have 65 cats, it's probably expensive.
So in Ohio, they train cats to steal things, and in Russia, they train bears to steal things. So this is just
And now, back to your nature news with Skin Man.
She would only feed the animals if they brought home valuables, so the animals had to steal every day in order to survive.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Mama, I brought
That's
you a
hilarious.
diamond necklace last night. Well, yeah, that's not enough. Bring me some more of those. Listen, who keeps bringing these stupid necklaces? Bring me more of those tinfoil balls.
Most were voluntarily malnourished so they would easily gain the neighbors' pity and be allowed inside their houses.
Oh, come in. We'll feed you, robbing them.
That's those older cats that are on that long-term grift.
I have some friends of mine that just recently let a cat in their house because they felt bad it was snowing out. And
Hey, better have
watch your
safe.
shit, man.
It's
Andy, did you have anything else, buddy?
No.
We're getting
Sorry.
near the end. I know Skin Man was late, so I didn't want to cut it off too early since he came to visit us. We are taking suggestions also for top 10 lists, top 5 lists you want us to discuss, fight, argue. I didn't want to mess with too much, but I think the fun in you got another story?
Yeah.
I think the fun in doing these lists is learning a lot about somebody by the type of movies and stuff that they like to watch. But 2, I think will also, as we get into comedies and stuff, you'll see the difference still even in the type of comedies we like or the type of action or what age you grew up in or if you're a new movie buff or so. What do you got for us now, buddy?
NASA employee admits stealing over 8 pounds of moon dust in 3 years and snorting it to get high.
Can you get high on moon dust? Are you sure it's not meth?
Let's find out.
It seems like all your stories are about animal related. They're actually meth related.
I'm just
Back
reading
to
what's
this-
given to me.
Back to this week in meth with Skin Man.
Houston, Texas. A cleaning technician. Okay. A janitor with moon dust on his penis, working for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is accused of stealing 3,854 grams of moon dust and 735 grams of moon rocks.
Is this over an extended period of time or is this a one-time heist? I need to know. I've been bumping. I just been bumping, but the supply keeps getting. Are you guys going back up to the moon anytime soon? I noticed the moon dust is getting kind of low.
It's been over 3 years.
When's the next time you guys? I just wondered. I know I cleaned the moon dust a lot. I just was wondering. Are you guys going?
Smells delicious.
I see you guys are training for something. Are you guys going to the moon again? Where do you,
some of that moon dust.
where do you?
Head at.
Okay, the moon dust is fine, but I really like the moon rocks. Is there anywhere locally I could just get moon rocks? That's a silly question. Does it fall sometimes? Where do you
They're
collect it?
moon rocks.
Where do you
They're not-
collect-
There's nothing local that says moon rocks. There isn't anything about moon rocks that says
I mean,
local.
but do you guys have like a portal or how do you guys get the moon dust and rocks to the Earth?
I work in a lab. I don't know what you by me.
Do you make this moon
You
dust in the
guys,
lab?
what-
Do you make the moon dust? I just
No.
noticed. Does it evaporate? Because I noticed it was a big. It's a small like when I first started cleaning this room.
Do you work here?
Yeah, I'm the cleaning technician, janitorial technician. They call me Robbie. Rob for short. uh, back to the
Clever name.
back to the moon dust. So when I first started cleaning the room 3 years ago, that big bag of moon dust, big bag, the big one over there, it was. Now it's. Where does the moon dust come from?
The moon?
How do you get there? Can a guy like Robbie, janitorial technician,
No.
can he get to the moon?
No.
What do you have to do to get to the moon?
Well, you have to be a rational thinking person.
Well, I
You
mean,
have to
I've been cleaning the space lab for
have to
3
be
years.
smart to run a spaceship
Been
and
cleaning
probably a pilot.
my key card right here. I get in this door every day and I
And
clean.
that's not, when I say pilot, I don't mean you take your
Pile up the
No,
moon dust and
no,
then snort
you
it,
don't.
right? Pilot
you don't
it
take
up,
all your
pile it
cleaning
up.
stuff and then pilot in the corner.
Oh.
I'm talking you actually navigate an aircraft.
Are you gonna keep talking about this moon dust, or are you gonna break out, bud? What's up? What's going on? We can chit chat all you want, but I mean, come on, moon dust guy, what's up? Moon rocks, whatever. It's cool.
I'm actually
No.
seeing what a virus does in zero gravity.
What would that do to a person if he were to snort it?
It would kill you.
How
in
long
3 days.
would you be? I mean, like how high would you get?
Full blown AIDS.
How
you
high
wouldn't
would
get
you
high
get?
at all.
I'm willing to try it if you're for
Your entire system would
What-
slowly
little-
shut down.
What if I took just a little bump of it?
No. You're still dead in 3 days.
So, like it's hair. Like you should shoot it instead of snorting it.
You should.
Okay.
Yeah, come on in. Come
Okay,
on in the
perfect. Thanks, bud.
lab. For you, I'll make an exception.
What else did Robbie do? Was that it?
Oh, no. 57-year-old Robbie was arrested this morning by deputies after a 2-year investigation. They've been watching him do this.
God, he has
for
been
2
snorting
years.
so much moon dust.
Well, he's been doing it for 3 years, but we've been watching him for 2.
Well, we were pretty sure it was him, considering every time he comes in, there's a certain amount. Every time he leaves, there's less.
I bet he's going to die.
He snorted a lot
Hundreds
of moon
of
dust.
samples collected during the Apollo missions were reported stolen by NASA from the lunar sample laboratory facility. Mostly lunar material samples, but also a few meteoric samples.
Oh, those meteors that get you all kinds of.
It's metal.
They get you.
You're snorting metal
Oh,
into your head.
God damn, give me some more of that, bud.
But it's in a rock form.
You know the cool-
rock and metal.
Hey,
yeah.
bro, you know the cool thing about it? You don't even got to use a pipe. It's already metal. You just smoke it, bro. So you know what? I'm an efficiency manager.
I'm gonna sprinkle it on a hot plate.
Not only is Robbie a technical cleaner director of management, but I'm efficiency management. Okay.
Excuse me. If you got a crack rock, no, I got this moon dust, bitch.
So you got some of that moon dust? What's up, bud? You're gonna keep bringing it up. Bring it out. Break it out, bud. Fucking, he's sitting over there. He's been waiting for you this whole time. Keep
Just
talking
over
about
there, just scratching,
keep talking about moon
just
dust.
scratching his neck, tweaking. According to the sheriff's office spokesman, investigators first thought the samples were stolen for sponsors or to be sold for profit on the black market. We really thought that stuff was useless but rare. So we were looking for some crime lord who collected space mission memorabilia
We thought he'd been selling it. Turns out, just Star Wars stuff.
or something. We couldn't find it because it was all snorted up into Robbie's head.
Does it say anywhere? Can you get high on moon dust? Asking for a friend.
Hasn't said anywhere yet.
Because it says he was doing it to get high.
Right.
He's like, it works, I think. It's moon dust. It's high up there. I should be getting high.
After almost 2 years of fruitless investigation, deputies learned from a NASA employee that moon dust could possibly be used as a narcotic and it naturally contains large amounts of various types of mineral stimulants, which are similar to amphetamines.
So we should be harvesting moon dust long ago. Robbie's onto something. Did you have anything else, Andy?
No.
Skin Man, you wrapped up, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, another fruitful week on Monday Papers. I don't know
I
how.
think so.
I think so. I think it was a good show. It started out a little slow. Apologize for the technical errors. That's what we do. We open up. We could be professional. We could have everything ready to go. We could test run it before. I mean, I have the ability to test run it, not everything to go live, but take some of the fun out of it.
Right.
So
So
I don't
some-
know. Until next week, we're gonna come with top 10 Christmas movies. Is that what we're doing, right?
No, it was
We're doing top 10
franchise movies.
like Freddy's and Dairy Queen. We're doing top 10 Christmas movies for next week. Hopefully, I don't have no reason not to. We'll have another show Monday, and then I don't know. I leave for Vegas on Thursday after the show, but I will be back Sunday night.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know where that falls, what day that. When's New Year's, or I don't know. I think that's a farther extended out from then.
Right.
So we shouldn't miss any, but if we do, we'll try to put out some content. So thanks for joining us. Skin Man apologizes for being late.
Oh, absolutely. It was one of those deals.
We'll make sure he never does it again.
I wasn't going to make the kids walk.
No, it was
So-
it was a snow day here. I should have reached out earlier, and I was actually because I was pretty sure it was top 10 movies. But I reached out to Andy earlier, and that was also his opportunity to say, yeah, it was, but it's cold. I mean, I'm sick. And that was even with us. He said, "Did you reach out to Skin Man?" And I said no, and he goes, "Well, I just know last time it was cold." Skin Man
Last
didn't
time it
show.
was cold, he didn't leave the house.
So you put snow on top of it. So thanks for listening, everybody. Monday Papers out. I don't know.
Did it drop out?
I don't have the mic cord hooked in, so they don't